Okay. Let's see. Who do we have? Kathy Kathia. Just waiting for the people to come in through. Dumelong, Khotsong, Lekai. So, but a windy. It was amazing. I shared a video on TikTok and I shared it on WhatsApp. Check out the last video that I just uploaded right here on TikTok. You'll see just a bit of a snippet of the experience that we had. It was just amazing. Vicky, how are you? Auxilia, I see you out there. Khomotso Lehiwa. Gilbert, Giligilia. I'm actually supposed to be going on at 2 o'clock, but I did it a couple of minutes before the time for the people that are going to be having load shedding at 2. I thought maybe perhaps, if they can hop on with us for a couple of minutes, maybe perhaps they might find whatever that they're looking for. And today we're talking about patience. You might realize that lately I talk a lot about these soft skills. Yesterday we were talking about worth. You are worthy. You matter. Maybe perhaps you've forgotten about it, but you are here for a purpose. Otherwise, your ass will not be alive. Would it be now? Gilbert! So, I don't know what might have happened or what is happening to you that it's making you maybe perhaps doubt your value. But I'm here just to remind you that you do not just come here to endure pain, but you came here to ensure fulfillment of life. How does it happen? I don't know. Whatever that you're going through, though, remember the whole moral or the whole story of this channel is hurry for lane. We need to heal. So what I'm trying to do is I want us to forget a little bit about books, quantum physics, science, talking about astrology, cosmology, mythology, spiritual texts. Let's just put those aside and focus on ourselves, because we tend to forget these things. A lot of people are busy trying to make a living, and they are forgetting to live. With us as well, we're busy thinking that your healing is going to come from the next book, your healing is going to come from the next TikTok live or Facebook live or YouTube live. And we've somehow forgotten about ourselves. That's why I'm here just to say to you, you matter. What I want to talk about today is patience. And you're not going to heal tomorrow. You're not going to heal just now. You have to cook this healing. You have to start somewhere. Joy. Faith. So I don't know. Did you guys check out the video? The retreat video. Oh, it was amazing. I got myself a souvenir here because it was cold as balls. I think it's because of the altitude, because we were way high. We went straight to the so-called rural areas. We disconnected from the city. And, the city produces a whole lot amount of toxins in terms of chemicals, in terms of lead, in terms of magnetisms, in terms of, this English and blah, blah, blah. But somehow the cities tend to have this thing that is overburdening us We can't think clearly when we're in the midst of things that are always busy. Sometimes you need to unplug. Sometimes you need to relax. Sometimes you need to get off the grid. Sometimes you need to get in contact with nature. Sometimes you need to listen to that silent voice. Sometimes you need to be uncomfortable. Sometimes you need to walk barefoot. Sometimes you need to forgive. Sometimes you need to let go and let God. So if you saw it, did I learn something? Hey, Kathy, all the time. Hey, all the time. You know what I normally say, that nature is always teaching. We just need to pay attention. The funeral, don't do that, Joy. We're planning to have something, I think around about June. We want to have it in Joburg. I'm not quite sure how it's going to be structured because the moderator is busy facilitating that and putting it together. In this instance, because a whole lot amount of people, I think, I'm quite closer to Joburg, we might make it a day thingy. But the whole thing, it's all about healing. We don't necessarily need to wait for that. You don't necessarily need to get your healing from the book. You don't necessarily need to get your healing from TikTok. You don't need to get your healing from the prophet. You don't need to get the healing from anywhere else. All the healing that you've ever been looking for, it's inside of yourself. You are that book that you've been looking for. All that we're doing here, is just a bunch of people that gathered together talking about these things, because this journey can be very treacherous, particularly when it comes to healing. Then you can teach us. What am I drinking? Right now I'm having some tea, Gilbert. Yeah, I'm on some, normally on a weekly basis, Monday to Tuesday. 48 hours in a week. I normally go on a look at fast. And I take a veggie there and there. The whole point is, if you want to grow on this journey, you somehow going to have to master your flesh. You somehow going to have to transmutate your lower self. You somehow going to have to teach your body who's boss. And you need to heal faith. Out of a sharp skawara. But the minute I saw the forest, I thought snakes, yo. It's on steroids. Auxilia, speaking of snakes, I normally tell people that this channel, when we started it, is to encourage one another that we can change the underlying story of our lives. We did not come to this existence to be victims. We didn't come here to be doormats. We didn't come here just to be fearful. The Bible says, I think it's in the book of Titus, it says, we were not given the spirit of fear and timidity, but we were given a spirit of overcoming. So eventually, we also have to deploy the same attitude when it comes to life. I don't know what is it that you're going through right now. I mean, particularly you, Faith, when you say you need to heal. Some people might be going through evictions. Some people might be going through health problems. Some people might be going through financial problems. Some people might be going through a whole lot amount of things that are happening. But what you call the situation will either empower you or will either disempower you. The world is not out to punish you. God has not turned the back on you. Your ancestors have not forgotten about you. I don't know, whatever that you're praying to, here I am, I'm telling you that you are not forgotten. The trials that you're going through, the tribulations that you're going through, the pains that you're going through, eventually you're going to have to transmutate them. You're going to have to master your cocoon phase. You know, when to get a butterfly, it comes from the caterpillar. Have you seen how hideous a caterpillar looks like? Oh, the caterpillar is the most hideous looking thing, but out of the caterpillar comes a new life. It's a process of alchemy as well. If you're going through the dark period, if you don't know where it's left, where it's right, what you're going to eat tonight, what you're going to fit these kids, when are you going to see your children, what are you going to do with this court case, what are you going to do with your health, I need to remind you this. You're going to pull through. It doesn't sound like that, I know. That is why yesterday when I spoke about the worthiness, and today I'm talking about patience, you're going to have to keep the light going on. And you're going to have to rewrite your story. You're going to have to inspect your mental chatter. Is it clean? Is it toxic? What do you normally say to yourself? Could it be the reason why you've never written that book? You've never started that YouTube channel because you're thinking you want to be better than that? Have you tried accepting yourself wholly? With your flaws, with your flops, with your habits, with your hideous, goddamn looking self, because it doesn't matter how many books you read. It doesn't matter how many lives you ascribe or how many classes you register yourself to. Until you read yourself, until you master yourself, until you understand yourself, until you understand yourself, until you overstand yourself, you will always be looking. Man, know thyself. The Bible says the kingdom of God is within. So where are you going? I mean, well, you know, hey, Black Root Signs! So, life, it's not a game of war. Life, it's not a game of competition. Rather, life is a game of building. Life is a game of cooperation. When you fight, when you're always defending yourself, when you're always angry, when you're always jealous, that shows that you are approaching life from the point of fear. And fear is very destructive. Fear will make you think that the world is out to punish you. Fear will actually push your dreams much more further than they really are. Fear will suspend, fear will curtail your healing. Somehow you're going to have to let go of it and start embracing love. Start going for forgiveness. Start going for healing. Change your story. Make your internal conversation to be blissful. You know, there was this other quote that I saw. Let me just say hi to the people. Hoi hoi! Ray Grash, how are you, Ray Grash? Who else is here? Do you guys just want to say hi? Thank you very much for the likes. I see that's 1.3. Have you guys seen the video that we pasted? I think we put it here on TikTok. We came this weekend. We had a beautiful retreat. Unfortunately, for the people that did not get to see us promoting it, we did it for around about like 6-7 weeks. The period was quite short, but it came out nicely. It was a beautiful success. We had beautiful people. We had beautiful walks. We had beautiful conversations. Oh, the food was amazing. And the company was off the cheesy. The whole point of the retreat was to work on the energies, to liberate the energies, to let go of the old things, to introduce new information into our neurons, because what you feed your brain as well matters. If you're putting in nothing in here, your brain will give you nothing. If you're putting in soapies in here, your brain will give you soapies. if you're putting in books in here, your brain will give you books. If you're putting in peace in here, your brain will give you peace. But if you're putting hate in here, your brain will give you hate. So if I'm talking about how we joined that, Gilbert, we're planning to have something of gathering of some sort, but I'm not quite sure about the retreaty part of it, because this time we're looking into making it a day visit. We want to have it around about like June. I know I'm putting up a horse in front of the cart here, because moderator's probably going to kill me with that. Hey, Gilly, don't do that. People will kill me. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be having a day session, because I find out that a lot of us are being held back, not necessarily because we're not powerful. We are being held back because we got energy that needs to be liberated. We got the force that is within us that needs to be let to flow. And unfortunately, from what I've seen is, this force cannot be able to be liberated. You cannot be able to transmutate. You cannot be able to ascend. Some people call it the Kundalini, the third eye. You can't be able to do that until you walk on your heart. You have to open up your heart. You have to have a defenseless heart. You have to have that love that they speak about in the book of Corinthians, that love that doesn't know hate, the love that doesn't know, that doesn't keep the records of the wrong. It's like an unconditional love, if I was to put it like that. The Hindus, in Sanskrit, they call it the Dharma, that is your real self. Your real self doesn't know hate. Your real self doesn't know a grudge. Your real self doesn't know a blame. Your real self doesn't know pain. These are things that we've learned. Just like fear, just like hate. Hate is something that we've learned. And you know what hate does? Hate introduces the darkness, and it overclouds our souls, our true selves, so the energy cannot properly flow. So those are the things that we normally talk about. We handle it in different type of topics. Sometimes, where am I located? Kathy, I'm the child of the universe, eh? Gilbert, let's do this. For you to get some much more further conversations about the next events that we're busy planning, I will urge you to be part of the WhatsApp group. This is the family that I think we've just surpassed around about like 160 participants. In there we share books, we share the events. I mean, this one that we just heard this past weekend was the first one. So we're planning to come up, with something of that sort going forward. And if you want to be getting that information, obviously if you're in a WhatsApp group, you'll be much more privy to get that, unless if maybe perhaps you might catch me talking about it. But this is going to be around about like June month. It's all about the energy, because if you've realized lately, there's a lot of things that are happening on our non-physical self. The spirit is seeking liberation. The energy is seeking liberation. A lot of people are witnessing some paranormal experiences. Some people are going through some traditional messages, dreams. There's a whole lot amount of energy that is upsurging, and what we're trying to do here on this channel, and which I hope and I believe and I know for sure that a lot of people are doing this, where we are assisting each other on how to liberate the energy. Because this energy, if it's not liberated, it's going to wreak a whole lot amount of havoc. We see a whole lot amount of people going to psychiatric hospitals. Some people are going into depression. Some people are having some paradigm shifts. I know for some people that blatantly told me that they never thought they'll ever entertain anything of spirituality, but somehow this energy touched them where they are. So this platform is one of those where we're just having my heart is my compass, yeah, Kathy. So do that, and I see there's 18 of us in here. Do me along. User 627, I see that you shared the live. Kathy, I see that you're liking up the live. The giftings as well are open. For the people that haven't followed me yet, please do so. It helps us with the algorithm. If you're wondering what the heck is it that we're talking about, today we're talking patience. Yesterday we were talking about worth. The big awakening. You want to call it that? I'm stealing this one. That one I'm taking. I'm going to be using that one. Thank you, Kathy, for that. Umonako Bantatile. Yeah, Umonako, I'd say that. Because lately I've decided to get the foot off the pedal a bit. We've been talking about a whole lot amount of complex things. We've been talking about anthropology. We've been talking about history. We've been talking about cosmology. We've been talking about mythology. But I feel that we've somehow neglected ourselves. We've somehow forgotten that we are the tool that's going to be used through this journey. And if you want your car to take you further, you take care of it. In accounting, they say that whatever that you appreciate goes high in value. So I'm here just to drop some few things that have been placed in my heart. Yesterday it was about the worth. Today it's about patience. What does it mean? When you're trying to let go of your trauma, when you're trying to bring light to the darker places of yourself, because believe it or not, you can be in denial for as long or for how long or for whatever long that you want to be. You are having some places in you that needs light. The pains that you have experienced, the traumas that you have experienced, the breakups, the death in the family, the evictions, being let go, anything that is traumatic that has ever happened to you, and somehow you think maybe perhaps you might have forgotten about it. Science will tell you that those things are lurking in your subconscious mind. Those are the darker parts of you. That is what they call shadow work. This includes forgiving yourself. This includes forgiving others. This includes letting go. This includes forgiving yourself. 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 I'll tell you why I said it so many times. You cannot give what you don't have. You cannot give what you don't have. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't. So if you're struggling with forgiveness, the bestest hack that I can ever give you is to go deep inside of those places of yourself. Thank you, Bontatile. It's to go deep down in those areas of yourself. Look at yourself. Shout at yourself for as long as you want to shout at yourself. Put yourself to court for as long as you want to put yourself to court. But eventually, you're going to have to let it go. I don't know how long it's going to take. That is why I'm saying be patient with yourself. I speak a lot about this thing of healing And I know that linguistically, a lot of people might have made a mistake that healing, it's a, you know, it's a walk in a park. You're like, yeah, tomorrow I'm healed. You better forgive her. Hey, man. Hey, Faith Skawara, man. It's okay. We have to peel ourselves apart. You know, there's this saying that says, the bestest way to know yourself is to know who you're not. So it's like peeling up the onion. Every layer of the onion, if it doesn't make you cry, it didn't count. So I can see you. I see that you sent me the WhatsApp. I'll respond to it once I'm done with, because the brother is using the same device to do the recording, to get the phones to do the WhatsApp. That is why I'm saying to you guys, I mean, your guys' giftings, your guys' likes and comments, it helps me a whole lot. Your guys is assisting us in buying up the data, in sending us the messages. Because if there's one thing that I can tell you, this journey right here, it's going to need you to be a friend with yourself. There are some areas in your life while you're busy healing that not even a book can help you. Hey, Gilly, you got that? So, but next time, Oscar Wara, Gilly, next time what's going to happen is, if depending as to where this thing is going, we'll have a laptop there, we'll have a phone there, then we'll be in a studio, with the 4K cameras, with the makeups and stuff. Right now, you're going to have to endure this. So don't mind how I'm saying it, listen to what I'm saying. These days, it's no longer about the visuals, because these days we're dealing up with the information, and you'll realize something, that on this journey, information is energy. When you know yourself better, you tend to perform with yourself better. But before that, start appreciating yourself. Patience. Have you fallen since you started with your journey? If you have, welcome. Have you meditated in the morning? You'll be lighting up your candles and your incenses and your oils, and you'll be like, hum. And you get out of that meditation state, and your child spills coffee on you. And you snap. It's part of living. The challenge is, how quickly are you gonna forgive yourself? That's a measure of patience. Yeah, you snapped. You're supposed to, because if you block yourself from snapping, you're repressing the energies. This is what Carl Gustav Jung calls your shadow self. The repressed part of you are things that are actually wreaking havoc in your life. You one of those people that think that you're supposed to please everybody. You're supposed to, people are not supposed, you're supposed to be liked by everybody. Not understanding that it's a defense mechanism that you developed. Because remember, trauma shapes you. If you grew up in a fucked up family whereby for you to get attention, it was for you to be liked, somehow you're going to have to drop those things. That's what I'm talking about when I say you have to rewrite your story. While you're doing that, maybe perhaps you're dealing up, you bounce back. Let's bounce back again. Hello, my friend. Hey, Irene. 16 of us in here. Thank you very much for the people that are busy giving up the likes, the giftings, Kilebilo Minahandi, the people that have sent me the WhatsApps. I'll check them out, I think, in like 20, 30 minutes time, because I came on at 22, so we're going to be here for the next 20 minutes. Pretty much we're talking about patience. I don't want us to be technical. If maybe perhaps I derailed from the topic, I want us to be as practical as possible. On this journey, as you're going towards your healing, you're going to fall. Yeah. Oh, come on. Do you think you're just going to glide on this thing? You say, I've forgiven my mom. And tomorrow when your mom calls and you're like, Ish, I haven't. Don't give up on yourself. It's patience. You see? Let me just see. Actually, doing shadow work helps you. And you know, Kathy, while you guys are speaking about the shadow work, before I get to the genes, don't try to push back any form of an emotion. It's a trap. If you wake up, because I know these days don't come the same. I mean, like, you know, particularly the people that have taken the yoga and meditation, they think that they're always going to be smiling. No! Shift Christianity that is coming. You want us to talk about that, Irene? Can we talk about patience today? Because the challenge is once I start talking about religion, oof. There's a lot of things that we need to address when it comes to religion. But I'd like us to stay with this issue of patience, you know, today, because we've almost forgotten how to be patient with ourselves. We scold at ourselves. We are our own worst critics. We don't speak well of ourselves, even though we don't verbalize them. Remember, thoughts are a form of you speaking to yourself. Those are what we call subvocal conversations. And obviously the quality matters a lot. Because if you're always degrading yourself, if you're always thinking that you're not worthy, you are actually living those words that says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So you think in your reality, if you're thinking that the world is out to punish you, the world is obviously going to punish you because you're praying for that. And the reason why I'm saying you're praying for that, I don't know if you guys have heard this saying that goes, when you worry, like every time when you're worrying about something, worrying is also a form of prayer, but now a form of prayer of praying for something that you don't want. The brain is a very funny thing. It listens to what you tell it more or most of the times. You are your habits. Subconscious mind works with a habitual way of thinking. So if you're always thinking that you are a loser, look around you. But it's an issue of shadow work. When you're doing this shadow work, you're somehow going to have to face the painful areas of yourself. Are you lurking somewhere? Do you have some habits that you wish you didn't have? Do you have psychological tendencies that are troubling you? Before you start dealing with it, you have to accept it. This is Alcoholics Anonymous. They have their 12 steps rule, but I think their first rule is what we need to do as people. Accept that I need help here. I mean, I like what you did, Faith, when you said you need healing. The reason why I'm saying it's important, once you say something, you're sending up the message to the universe, and the universe now starts conspiring and working with you, guiding you. Mercy will carry you, the grace will carry you. And I don't know how your journey looks like. I mean, in as much as you got that, don't know mine. But all that I can tell you is accept yourself. Do you want to walk on that anger? Accept it. Because each and every single emotion carries a message. I mean, I know for people that like being liked, you know, these empathetic beings, they think life is not about frictions. Life is not about making people angry. You tend to become let me just read the comments before they go. Let me just read. I'm fighting the enemy. Don't become your number one. Yeah. You know, Faith, that thing, ne? Hey, you just said something. Let me just read the comment. It's okay to tell the little child inside that you are recovering them. Yeah. You know, Faith, this that you're saying, I mean, these are the words that were uttered by Socrates. Socrates said, be careful that when you're fighting a stranger, you don't become a stranger yourself. Be careful that when you're dealing with such a cruel kind of type of world, you don't become cruel yourself. Crystal Legs! I'll tell you guys why I'm actually, you know, going ballistic when I see your name. My word. Did you see the video that we pasted? I think we put it on TikTok and we also put it in a WhatsApp group. Crystal Links hooked us up with crystals. Beautiful works. I'm going to be sending some of the pictures as well for you guys to check it out. Thank you very much. You made this event a blast. Over and above, everything went smooth. The giftings, you guys actually tremendously, because this was just a concept, but you guys made it possible. So we're having the next one in June. So yeah, enough with that. I'm going to make a whole video, you know, about the gratitude, because it's one of the things that we also need to be. It's a mood that we need to take. You have to be very thankful. I mean, your ass is alive. Did you say thank you? You're still breathing. Did you say thank you? Did you know that, I mean, there's somebody now in a hospital bed gasping their last air or breath, and your ass is still here. Did you say thank you? You know exactly what you've been going through, and you know that you shouldn't be here given all the things that you had to endure. Did you say thank you? Gratitude. It's a magnet for great things. If you appreciate the little that you have, guess what it says? More will be given to you. Start saying thank you. It means a lot. Hey, back in a Cognitive Jungle, we give thanks. It's Crystal. Kathy, we will also need to dedicate some segment, obviously, to talk about the crystals as well. And I'm thinking the business person that I'll have to get to run that for us will be you, Crystal Links. You know, but we'll talk about it, because Gilly, we'll talk about it. You must understand, Kathy, the journey of spirituality, it's a bit tricky, because it means going out of your five senses boundary. It means jumping into the unknown. The journey of healing, just like the journey of spirituality, or whatever the journey that you're on, there comes a point where words fail you. There comes a point where words are not enough. In actual fact, who's this guy? Alan Watts says words are a very clumsy way of talking. The language that we need to understand, the language that we need to shift towards, is the energy language. It's that language that does not use the syntaxes. It's a language that does not require words. It's a language that it's energetical. I mean, like, words don't exist there. So you'll find out that at some point, obviously, you're going to have to deal with some grosser issues part of you, like, you know, with the chakras. You have to deal with your 3 base or lower 3 dantians before you can go to your upper chakras. So obviously your 3 lower chakras represent your physical self, represent your animalistic being. But obviously, when you transcend, when you go to your fourth and to your higher chakras, you are getting into the subtler way of doing things. You can't see these things, you can't touch them, you can't hold them, you can't actually talk about them. That is why spirituality is called a journey. It's an experience. I mean, Tao Te Ching or the Eastern philosophy will tell you, even me trying to speak about it, I'm doing it injustice. Because when you know, you know. But enough of that. See my questions. That's powerful. Thank you, Polly. Who's new here? If you're new, please follow the brother. Thank you very much for the giftings. I'm going to be here for the next 10 minutes. If you guys got some questions, if you got some comments, if you just want to say hi, please show some love. If you still got some likes in your bag, drop them off here. If you got some giftings, some giftings, they want you to go to your Mastercards. The tree, it agrees, right? With what? The giftings or with what? The love. Why not do both? And while we on this thing of energy, let's not forget why I came on live today. Don't be hasty on yourself. When you hear somebody saying meditation worked for me, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for your ass. When you hear somebody saying fasting worked for me, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for you. You somehow going to have to start trusting yourself again, because most of the messages that you're going to get on your journey, they're not going to come from a book. They're not going to come from a TikTok. They're not going to come from your husband, your wife, your pastor. They're going to come from you. And if you have degraded yourself, if you have scolded yourself, if you don't trust yourself, if you don't honor yourself, you will go around looking for answers, not knowing that all the answers are in you. You have to be your friend again. You have to forgive yourself and tell yourself that if you knew better, you would have done better. Right now, I don't know what you're going through. There are some of the people in your life that you're going to need to push back. I call those collateral damages. Collateral damage is, or collateral, it's like on your journey of healing, there are some people that you're not going to need around you, because the energies that they radiate, or the energies that they generate are not working for you at that moment. I know it for sure. It's very pertinent, especially when it comes to our family members, our fathers, our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, our aunts, our wives, our husbands. Because somehow, because you're dealing up with the energy, the universe will take you to a solitude period whereby you will have your energies and your energies only to focus on. That's why you find some people leaving their jobs. And 6 months down the line, they'll be like, ish, I don't know why I left, but something in you has been guiding you. That thing that will make you change that relationship, that thing that will compel you take this left route or the right route, that thing that will tell you, let me tune on to this channel, that thing that will show you, let me read this book, it comes from you. It has never kept quiet. We have just stopped listening to it. So the more you becoming patient with yourself, the more you loving yourself, the more you forgiving yourself, you are actually taking off all the things that are hindering your true self. Let's love them from a safe distance. But you know, the thing about that one, hey, Mr. B, been a while, hey, been a while. For the people that are struggling with load shedding, sorry. But we back, and we black. We're gonna be here now for the longest of time. The last 2 weeks for me were a bit hectic in a sense because we are preparing for the retreat. Treasure, I see you. Remember, we have different planets that manipulate. Oh, okay, so true. Faith goes of us. Hey, Treasure, you know, you and these comments of yours, I like them so much because somehow, when you've taken a spiritual journey, you will realize that there's a whole lot of shit that we don't know. The more you transmutate, or you overcome your lower self, you start coming, or you start traveling towards your higher self. That's the way, by the way, how the Kundalini energy rises. I want us to talk about it extensively at some point. But the more you introduce beautiful things in you, you are introducing beautiful coal in you. You burn in quality energies. This energy cannot be able to rise if you're burning toxic energies. And the higher you go, obviously, let's say you have managed to let go, to forgive, because you have to solidify yourself psychologically and emotionally. You have to liberate yourself before you can be given cosmic knowledge, before you can be able to go across your fourth chakra, that one that they call the heart, where your soul lives, that one that has 7 chambers. This is now mythology, because at some point when you are on this journey, you're going to have to get into a little bit of mythology. You're going to have to get into folk tales. You're going to have to get into the analogy. You're going to have to use your right-hand brain. And your right-hand brain does not use words. It uses symbols. It uses ideas. It uses colors. It uses tones. It uses energies. It uses emotions. Those are the things that you need to understand within yourself. And you can't do that if you hate yourself, because all the information is coming from yourself. Have you ever heard the saying that you are the reflection of the universe? As it happens outside, as it happens within, it happens outside. As it happens, what is it within and without? As above, so it is below. You are the microcosm of the macrocosm. You are the smaller yana in a bigger thingy. So, Treasure, you talking about, celestial things affecting us, astrology and da. Me like it. But we'll talk about it some other time, man. Let's start appreciating ourselves. Let's start falling in love with ourselves. Let's start being patient with ourselves. And I know it doesn't sound as if like it makes sense. You know why? We have forgotten how does it feel to love ourselves. We have forgotten how does it feel to be patient with ourselves. These things, they are just like the muscles. Once the muscle atrophies, it doesn't work properly anymore. So when it comes to you being patient with yourself, you have to do it today. If you fall again tomorrow, you have to do it again tomorrow. You have to do it again. You have to do it again. In Japanese, they have this philosophy that is called Kaizen. It's a continuous and a never-ending improvement. Each and every single day, I'm getting better and better and better. I don't care about who says what. I don't care who says what. I don't care what the standard says. But in as far as I know that I'm getting better at myself, at mastering myself. And you can set the time that you want. If you are always impatient with your kids, be conscious about that. If you fail, if you flop, if you flip, come back again. If you've been doing it for 5 years, do it again with a better intention this time, because you have to will it with your thoughts. You have to will it with your intention. You have to will it with the peace that you cultivate inside of yourself, because you're not going to be able to transcend until you open up your heart. until you cultivate unconditional love, your ass is just going to be here. I mean, I hear people talking about, I want 4D, bro. I want 5D, bro. I want 6D, bro. Your ass ain't going nowhere until you deal with this third dimension, matrix kind of type of drama. I know Treasure will be very excited hearing me talking about the matrix kind of type of shandies. But this is I just want to finish up with this quickly. For the people that want to be in a part of WhatsApp group, please send me your WhatsApp. I'll put you in. I'll also try to send you some of the books that we've shared so far. Intention. Ta-da! You want I've spent like 30 minutes trying to explain this thing, and you just say it in one word. Be intentional about your healing. Be intentional about your worth. Be intentional about your patience. And being intentional means even if you don't feel like it tomorrow, you do it. Because now your decision is not based on how you feel. Your decision is based on your well-being. It's not about you feeling good. You don't meditate because you feel good. Do you think I come here live because I feel good? God damn no. Every time I come here, my wife will tell you, I'm always having a tussle with myself. Why the heck should I be going there? This and that and that and that. But now, that war that you're having internally has to help you move forward. It's like taking care of your pain. Instead of your pain driving you, you driving your pain. It's like taking care of your shyness. Instead of your shyness driving you, you drive your shyness. You start that YouTube channel. You start that TikTok channel. You get out of that relationship, or you get into that relationship, or you leave that job, or you go to that job. Whatever that you do, be intentional about it. Get the ball rolling. Are you going to flop on it? Yeah. Are you going to feel lost at some point? Yeah, it's part of it. But remember, it's like when you, like with your genes, let me see how much time I have. I want to speak about genes quickly, just 2 minutes. Yeah, still have like 5 minutes left. I want to speak about genes quickly. Treasure actually help you. Batteries can get tossed away, but yourself, you are, wow. Every day we intend, every single day. Now, the reason why I'm saying become patient with yourself, let me just give you a bit of a scientific view on this issue. If you want to change, hey, Linkstore! Luckily, I'm speaking about the genes. Today we're talking about patience. I have like 5 minutes, so take whatever that you want to take, even if it's not words, because one of the things that I've realized, especially at the retreat, it's true when they say almost 76% of our communication is non-verbal. When we were there at the retreat, we didn't even have to say anything, because the energy speaks. So that's why I'm saying links, take whatever that you want to take, and drop whatever that you need to drop, because I know that if I help you, I help myself. If I love you, I love myself. If I share information with you, I share the information with myself, because you and I are one. We are just, thank you. You and I are one. We just decided to play different roles, and we think we're different. What a biggest illusion. So let me speak about the genes quickly. When you want to change yourself, or if you want to get to know yourself, let me use those words. Let me not use those words. Thank you, Treasure. Did you check it out? I'll put the video on TikTok. Please check it out. Show some love. Comment on it. Make sure that you get yourself in a WhatsApp group, or you be on a lookout, because we're going to be planning something, even though it's not going to be pretty much the same. But we're trying to get this thing of the world is not a hopeless place, man. It might look bad, I know. But The only way that you're going to be able to change it is by changing your internal conversation. What's your story? Which is what I want to talk about, to say if you want to change your story, you're obviously going to have to do the work. And doing your work, obviously, it means that you're going to have to deploy parts of you to go and work on your cells, to go and work on your chromosomes, on your genes, on your DNA, on your RNA, on your neurons. You're going to have to change your story from fighting to love, from competition to cooperation. Become the channel of peace. Become the channel I like what Jim Carrey says. Jim Carrey says, hope is a beggar. Faith leaps over the problem. But now what I'm taking it further, I'm saying we have to graduate hope, but we need to know that we didn't come here to be punished. Yeah, matrix-wise, on the third dimension, Wanyu. Because you might have known, or you might know that not all your thoughts, actually all your thoughts are not yours. But I don't want to talk about that now, because a lot of people are going to be like, all these things that I've been thinking, where are they coming from? We'll talk about it some other time. Let me just get back to these things of genes. So now what happens is, who would call themselves that? I mean, like, Sad Face joined. Hey, Sad Face, what an emoji. And thank you very much for the likes, guys. I think I have like 2-3 minutes. I just want to talk about these genes quickly. So what happens is, all of us, we got genes. Genes serve as a storage medium. There's a